basically, we're believing in the wrong things first, when they should really come second. Some years ago, I remember reading an article, it was many years ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, when some fundamentalists, I think it could have even been Sikhs, or it could have been Muslims, in north of India, that they burned a stall and killed the proprietor and his wife of a tiny store because they sold liquor, they sold alcohol. And at the time I thought to myself, I don't agree with selling alcohol. As a monk, that we have 5 precepts, we're not supposed to have alcohol. And even just the other day I caught Amandus, and he had this, this is one of our Nigarikas, he had some soya sauce, and we had to get rid of it because the soya sauce had 2.5% alcohol. And even that amount is very dangerous to monks. You can imagine the monks drinking soya sauce and getting merry. It actually happened once that, I'm not sure when the last time I told this story, the 4 monks, actually one of them here was here a few weeks ago visiting, not Ajahn, but it's another monk, it's Ajahn Pasna, I don't mind telling the name, he wouldn't mind. And he received some wine gums from his family in Canada for Christmas. And usually wine gums, you think they're just sweets, but these wine gums had real wine in them. Now it's okay, maybe, the last time you had alcohol was maybe only a year ago, or I hope not 5 minutes ago, but if it was, like a monk many, many years ago, your sensitivity to that really goes up. And so just wine gums, he shared it out with 3 of his friends, and we had 4 very merry monks. But I go to my funny stories now. I can't resist this story either, because many of you, with great love and respect, Ajahn Dhamma. He was here again very recently. He stayed such a long time in our monastery. He's a very wonderful monk and a good friend. He called me up on some other business yesterday. But apparently that he was on a flight from Adelaide, because that's where he was born, in Adelaide, back here to Perth, because he stayed in Perth maybe 7, 8, 9 years or something. It's a really nice monk, a very good monk, very well behaved, good meditator, great sort of speaker. And when he came off the plane in Perth, he smelt like a distillery. He literally did. He told me what happened. He said when he went on the plane in Adelaide, he was sitting next to this business person who was terrified of flying. That's the only way to get to Perth quick enough, and the only way to overcome his fear was actually partaking of the free alcohol which was given on board. So he had a glass of whiskey as soon as they took off, and he had kept on getting more whiskey and more whiskey. And so when he was talking to Ajahn Dhamma, who was sitting next to him and just trying to find some ways of overcoming his fear, and Ajahn was teaching him some Buddhism, but he was still drinking the whiskey. And unfortunately, by the time they get to Perth, it's only maybe a 2.5-hour flight. He had so much whiskey, he was already not all that stable. And they hit turbulence when he had a full glass of whiskey in his hand, and it went right over Ajahn Dhamma's robe. And it's just before he landed. And so that's why when he came out, he reeked of whiskey. And that's the story he told us. But I'm sure it was correct as well. It was very embarrassing as a monk, when you smell of whiskey, especially a senior monk like that.